up, horse racing fans? Welcome to another episode of the Inside Post. Today we have Belmont Park, Belmont Stakes weekend. We are handicapping the Friday card, which is the Phillies Stakes races. We have 5 stakes races on the card, including 3 grade 1s, a grade 2, and 1 grade 3. Kicking it off with the Just a Game Stakes, grade 1 turf. Route race going a mile on the Belmont Widener turf. We will give you our top picks, a long shot selection, and down below we will have our full card for the betting on Friday. So make sure you give us a like, hit that subscribe button. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. We cannot thank everyone enough. Get us to 1,000 before the Belmont Stakes, and we will be celebrating on the Belmont Stakes Day with our 1,000 subscribers and hopefully a win for our top pick. So here we go for the Just a Game. We are going against the heavy, I believe, 1-2 favorite in Italian right now. We are going with Spinderella, who is 2-1, second choice, obviously. For Grand Motion and Tyler Gaffleone. Caraconti, filly in here, 4-year-old. Comes in out of the Breeders' Cup Turf Mile, so has a pretty good class or last race class that if you're looking at things, the horse did finish second in there, was beaten as the favorite. Speak of the Devil, who is also in here, ran third. I just think Spinderella is probably in the top class compared with in Italian, and one that could possibly give her the best run. That past times comes out of Del Mar Oaks, winning that, and then was over at Ascot, where it finished second in the Coronation Stakes, which was a big grade 1 stakes race on the Ascot card. And obviously, in Italian should be first pick, but we're putting it in here as our second. Definitely using this one on any multi-race wagering, maybe an exacta with Spinderella in Italian as well. 1-2, we're just trying to find some value in Spinderella. If Spinderella can hold that value of 2, 3-1, little bit money to be made there. Again, really hasn't done anything wrong. In like 6 starts, I mean, there was a third place finish. Then ever since then, it's been first and 1 second. Coming this race last year, finished third to Regal Glory and Wakanaka, who is also in here. I think the horse is definitely improved since that Just a Game. This time last year, if you look, first in the Diana, first in the First Lady, second in the Breeders' Cup, filly and mare turf, and then coming out of that Ginny Wiley at Keeneland back in April. So definitely has the speed figures that are top of the class. Gets Irad Ortiz, Chad Brown train. Huge $610,000 purchase. If you look at those 2 horses' pedigrees, you got Caraconti with Spinderella, and here you have Dabawi out of or from the Italian side. So 2 great pedigrees, 2 great horses, 2 great trainers, 2 great jockeys. So basically, what could be a 2-horse race. Looking at what would be, I guess, our long shot using Speak of the Devil in here, just a horse that usually has ran with some of these. Again, a horse is coming out of that distaff turf for fillies and mares, a grade 2 on Friday at Churchill Downs. Finished third behind Spinderella and Fluffy Socks in there. Also has ran with the Wakanaka and in Italian. Several times has beaten them. Last year on the Kentucky Oaks Derby card, in that same distaff or fillies and mares, that grade 2 stakes race. Speed figures are a little bit less, or not necessarily slower, but just are not comparable to Spinderella and in Italian. We've kind of tried something new here. We're using the Brisnet optics, and as you can see, in Italian is the class of the field, with Spinderella being number 3 there, the big blue circle, as one that'll be just off of the lead, off of in Italian. But again, the only one that's really the closest to an Italian. Number 2, New Year's Eve, going to be coming from off of the pace. And our long shot play being number 5 in here, Speak of the Devil, as that kind of late run style to maybe get up and get a little piece of the action late. All right, next we're skipping ahead to race 8. This we have the New York Stakes Grade 1 Stakes race. And here going 1.25 miles, also on, or this one will be switched up and on the inner turf. So we're kind of using our phone to look at some of these prices because obviously when we first got this, um, the odds weren't out yet. So we're kind of using that. Top pick, we're going with Dadia yet again. We had this horse as our top pick in the Modesty. Winner out of that on the, I believe it was the Friday. Again, the Kentucky Oaks card. And then coming out of that Tom Benson Memorial at Fairgrounds, we had this horse again, winning there again. The horse has won 5, 6, 7 in a row. Coming from, I believe it was Argentina in some grade 1, grade 2 stakes races over there. Comes in here to Colonial Downs and an optional claimer, and then a stakes race, winning both of those again at Fairgrounds and a stakes race. And then boom, goes straight to that grade 3 Modesty, wins pretty easily, or looked to be pretty easily cleared by a length and a half, I believe. And a horse that's in really great form right now. The biggest thing is, yes, it's stepping into grade 1 stakes company. At 5-1, we're definitely taking a shot with this horse just because of the form that it's in right now, and the way that it's been able to run. However, I believe the class step up will be the big question mark. And again, going a little bit further, going an extra 1/8 of a mile. We'll see if this horse picks up on that extra distance. Second, going to the far outside with the Moonlight as our second pick. Horse coming in or shipping in from Great Britain. Before that, I believe was at Dubai, and then Keeneland, and then Dubai. Coming out of that, Jenny Wiley finished second in there to In Italian. So kind of we'll see if In Italian is what the 1-2 odds say on that. Then maybe with the Moonlight has a pretty good chance coming in here after running a second to In Italian in that Jenny Wiley. Goes back home to Newmarket, finishes 6th, so kind of struggled there shipping back home. And then obviously coming back in here for a grade 1 New York Stakes race. Is there some issues with being the horse being shipped too much or too often? So we will see. I mean, if you look at Charlie Appleby's shipping rate, I mean, he's at a 25% right now. He's at a 78% in graded stakes races, 78% in turf starts. So he checks all the box for the trainers. And I mean, you got to give the check also to the Go Dolphin owned. And obviously being a sire out of Frankel and Galileo and Dubawi, all over for the pedigree with the Moonlight. I'm currently 9-2. So interesting prices. And here has ran some races at Dubai. The Belmont, I believe it was the grade 2 in the Cape Verde, winning both of those at Maidan back in February, kind of 2-3 weeks apart. So we will see within the Moonlight what we can get there. And currently the favorite is Warlike Goddess. 6-5 will be our third choice. Definitely has the speed that's favorable in here, kind of the top speed of the field. Probably has the best lifetime record in here at 14-10, earning over $2 million. Winning the Bewitch grade 3 stakes race last time out. If you look even further back, coming out of the Breeders' Cup Turf, the Turf Classic, several grade 1s and grade 2s for Warlike Goddess, and obviously to be the odds-on favorite. Kind of the reason I guess that we can give is for fading this. Joe Rosario is only at a 16% right now. He seems to be hit or miss and kind of struggling. I just don't think this is a horse he will struggle on. But that's kind of the reason that we are pulling back away from Warlike Goddess. Another one that we could possibly use would be McCulloch in here at 8-1 for Chad Brown and Irad, and market segmentation for, again, Chad Brown and Jose Ortiz. Again, down below, we will have our full betting card structure of how we were structuring some of our tickets. Next, we go race 9, the Acorn Stakes, grade 1 stakes race for fillies that are 3-year-olds. We're going a mile and a 16th on the dirt. And here we go. Interesting. We have Money's Gold basically versus Pretty Mischievous in here. Interesting to see Money's Gold as the favorite at 9-5 or close to the favorite. 2-1 is what Pretty Mischievous is. So basically right there, neck and neck. Money's Gold coming out of that 8 bells grade 2, finishing second, beaten favorite in there by Red Carpet Ready. I just think this horse looked really good. This was the horse that was talked about coming out of that Tampa Bay stakes race, posted a big 104 speed figure, and then just kind of really doesn't have anything, or just was not able to run with Red Carpet Ready, kind of struggled on the inside and was just beaten by a head. Yeah, I'm not going to discount this horse, Todd Pletcher or Rad. Still fresh with only 4. This will be her 5th start. Coming in here, just one that's definitely should just get right back to where she was. If not, she's going to hit the board easily enough. Second, Pretty Mischievous. Of course, the Kentucky Oaks winner is going to come in here to the Acorn and again try to run them down from that mid-pack style that she did in the Kentucky Oaks. Winner of the Rachel Alexander grade 2 finished second in the Fairground Oaks, and then shock and all in the Kentucky Oaks at 10-11-1 in there with Tyler Gaffleone again for Brandon Walsh. Speed figures, if you look at it, have been improving. So let's see if this horse can take another big step forward in here to have those speed figures comparable to what Money's Gold has provided of the 103, 104s. I think Pretty Mischievous in here possibly could break 100 for that speed figure. We will see. I think it's going to have to possibly to run with Money's Gold. And I think it definitely will have that speed pace to be able to run into. If you look at our optics, as you can see, 5 and 6 kind of right there together. As you can see, 5 being a little bit better on the pace, with 6 kind of having that distance on the surface going for Pretty Mischievous. Again, not really any other horse. Number 3 will be running late, and Frosty O'Toole, obviously. Occult could be an interesting horse coming from off the pace as well. A seed, number 8, is kind of our long shot third pick in here for Flavion Pratt and Chad Brown. This is owned by Judemont, another one out of Into Mischief. Definitely lighter raced horse. Comes out of that 8 bells as well with Money's Gold. Finished 3rd in there. So maybe interesting to see what this horse will do on this stretch out. Maybe it prefers going a little bit longer, or maybe the shortness will be what this horse actually prefers. But we're going to take a stab in it just because the horse posted a pretty good workout back May 26th. Went 4 furlongs and 48 and was first out of 34. Speed figures are improving. I know only this is the 3rd start. So that 95 is comparable to some of the other top horses in here. Race 10, we got the big 2-miler on the turf, the Belmont Gold Cup, grade 2 stakes race. This is for 4-year-olds and up. Tough betting race. Again, when we handicapped, we really didn't know the odds. Skinny being 8-5 right now as our top pick. Just a horse that's kind of ran in that 2-mile marker. Usually these horses on these long 2-mile races that come from Europe, Great Britain, do really, really well. It seems like that's kind of what they breed for or prepare them for. And when they come over here, they usually romp in our 2 mile races here in the States. So skinny, we'll get William Buick for Charlie Appleby. Another one that is out of the Dubawi line here on the sire side of things. If you look back at the Dubai Gold Cup, this horse finished second to Broome, going 2 miles on that turf as well. Will ship in. I believe the horse has been here since about the 1st of June, so has had a work over the Belmont track. So that's kind of always a positive to see. Hopefully, the horse gets 1 or 2 more in before Friday. And again, like I said, these horses, when they ship in, usually run really well, especially on these 2 mile races. Next, we're going to try with number 7, Amazing Grace, Joel Rosario, Christophe Clement. Another one that's interesting that was overseas. I believe it was in Germany and France, and then comes into Gulfstream Park, and then goes to Turfway, or then goes to Belmont on the turf. Went 1.5 miles and 1.375 miles. One was in the Orchard, finishing first in there, and then the Grade 2 stakes race at Belmont finished fourth. But did not have Joel Rosario aboard in that race. Interesting enough, again, the horse was basically the favorite in those 2 races. Comes in here at 6-1 currently. And I think looking at the horse's turf career, 16-5-4, almost 300,000 in earnings. 98 speed figure was the best when it first came here and ran in the Orchard at Gulfstream Park in April. I think one that should be able to be placed fairly well in here. As we know, Joel Rosario likes to run from behind, and then this style of race, these long 2 miles, he knows how to save horses. Hopefully he's got his head on right and is able to put this horse in a good position. Third, we're going to use the Gray Wizard all the way to the outside. This is an Irish bred horse here. Has Scat Daddy on the sire side, with the dam being Fancy with Galileo. Comes out of a Keeneland turf race going 1.5 miles. This was just an allowance race, so does get that step up in graded company. Won that allowance race of non-winners of 2, posting a 99 career best speed figure in there with John Velasquez aboard for Grand Motion. Interesting enough, kind of stepping into this Grade 2 stakes race, thinking they may try a lower level stakes race before. But this one is definitely interesting, especially with that 99 speed figure coming out of that race, and is automatically pointed in to this Graded 2 stakes race. And our long shot, which is not much of a long shot, 8-1, Jose Ortiz for Joseph O'Brien. Another one, the 50% trainer shipper rate, and here coming again from Great Britain or the Euro circuit. However, hasn't really done much over there. I highlighted a couple on the card, the Judemont Grade 1 and the Dalbury Coronation. The horse finished third, and in the Judemont was beat out by Baid Mischief. So definitely ran against some really good class horses over there at York and Epsom. So definitely comes in here probably a little bit lesser class. And again, going these longer distance, these Euro horses that ship in have to be taken into consideration. Probably a field that will have to be taken seriously, and probably going to have to spread a little bit more on that. We have a couple other horses that we are zoning in on, or kind of trying to knock off some of the other ones. So make sure again to check out down below the blog of how we're structuring those tickets. Whoops. Next up, we got race 11. We have the Intercontinental. This is the Grade 3 stakes race for fillies and mares that are 4-year-olds and up. We are again back to the inner turf in here. And our top pick will be Bubble Rock at 5-2. Again, I know we kind of hazed Joel Rosario a few minutes ago, and now here we've picked him twice. But Again, this horse is done really, really well coming out of $150,000 stakes race at Belmont. So again, has the familiarity, seems to love the Belmont turf. 2 for 2 so far on that. I know lighter, or one being the last time out, and the other one was like back in 2021. But at least has put some works out as well, and some pretty good workouts on the turf at Belmont. Has some great stakes races under her belt. A grade 2 Miss Revere, where Joelle was on that horse again and went to the lead and won. And then in the license fee, Joelle kind of pulled the horse back and was able to make a late rally into the stretch and was able to pull ahead. So interesting to see what he does here. I believe he could come from either one of those positions. As we know, kind of Joel Rosario is more on the lead style, or off the lead style is what we are used to seeing. Here, as you can see on our optics, a little bit off the pace. Number 5 and number 6, Amy C and Baystorm probably could be on the lead in here. And kind of going with that, Amy C is our second choice, just based off of kind of what our optics is showing us. One that has a little bit of late kick, and definitely one that is coming out of a graded stakes race, a grade 3 stakes race, and should do fairly well against this company. Does cut back to 6 furlongs, so it's been running 6.5. So interesting on a little bit of cutback. Good speed figures in that 90, 92 mark that are comparable to Bubble Rock as well. Gets Flavion Pratt instead of Umberto Rispoli, so kind of a little bit of a jockey upgrade there. And then Phil De Amato, again, has usually been hitting really well of late. Third, again, we talked about Baystorm at 3-1, kind of that third top pick in there with Bubble Rock and Amy C. 28% trainer, second time off the layoff, which is what this horse is coming back from. Best turf speed as a 91, 92, comparable again to Amy C and Bubble Rock. Comes out of a Unbridled Sydney, that $300,000 stakes race on Thurby, or the undercard of the Kentucky Oaks, actually, for Johnny Velasquez again. So it seems to be one that is striding in the right direction. Did have a workout back May 27th, so hopefully this horse gets one more workout in before this race. That'll make us feel a little bit more comfortable in using this horse. And of course, this long shot is only 9-2, but I feel like won't take as much money as some of these others. Is Poppy Flower. Did finish second to Bubble Rock in that license fee stakes race at Belmont, and was beaten favorite last time out before that in an optional claiming race. So trying graded stakes race for the first time for Wilmot. Hosea is riding really well. The rail, I guess, is hitting at a 30% clip at Belmont Stakes, or at the Belmont. Put in a pretty good work June 3rd. Again, one that has had training, or that has, I guess, been in training and working out. That's always a good sign as well. So pretty good race to kind of wrap up the Friday Belmont Stakes races for the fillies. Kind of the highlight could be the Gold Cup, or could be the Acorn. So there's our picks. Again, make sure you hit that like button, give us a subscribe, get us to 1,000 subscribers before the Belmont Stakes, so we can celebrate on Belmont Stakes with a winner and with our 1,000 subscribers. Make sure to check out our other videos. We will be posting a Belmont Stakes post position draw analysis shortly after this, so make sure to check those out, and we hope you win big using our bets.